Good morning everyone. In previous classes I have discussed the lateral ventricle and the third ventricle. Today I will discuss about the fourth ventricle. Inside the ventricle the CSF is present, and the CSF, it is the colorless fluid containing the protein, glucose and the large amount of the sodium chloride. It is the clear colorless fluid. And the lateral ventricle are connected to the third ventricle. The third ventricle is connected to the fourth ventricle through an aqueduct of Salvius, and the lateral ventricle is connected to the third ventricle with the interventricular foramen. Now, today I will discuss about the fourth ventricle. Then, what is the fourth ventricle? The fourth ventricle, it is found in the hindbrain. This fourth ventricle. Today I will discuss about the fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle, it is found in hindbrain. The brain has the three parts: the forebrain, the midbrain and the hindbrain. And this fourth ventricle, it is situated, it is found in the hindbrain, the forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain. This fourth ventricle is found in the hindbrain. And where it is situated? It lies in front of cerebellum, which is the part of the hindbrain, and behind the pons, the lower part of the pons, not whole of the pons, the lower part of the pons and upper part of medulla oblongata. That is the situation. And the cerebellum, which is the part of the hindbrain, it forms roof of fourth ventricle, the roof of the fourth ventricle. And floor of this fourth ventricle, floor of the fourth ventricle is formed by pons and upper part of medulla. The pons and the upper part of the medulla. Floor is formed by the pons and upper part of the medulla. Thus, the fourth ventricle has the roof and the floor and the two lateral walls. Now, the very important, the floor of the fourth ventricle. The floor of the fourth ventricle, it is diamond shaped. What is the shape? The shape diamond shaped, or so called rhomboid fossa, because rhomboid in shape, so it is called the rhomboid fossa. And one term is stria medullaris. This floor of the fourth ventricle, the floor, it is divided into the upper and lower triangular base, upper and lower triangular base by stria medullaris. The term is stria medullaris. And right and left part by median sulcus. Now, what is stria medullaris? Very important term. The stria medullaris. What is stria medullaris? It is a bundle of transversely running fiber. It is a bundle of running fiber at the junction of base of these two triangles, that is at the junction of the pons and the medulla. What is stria medullaris? It is the bundle. It is the bundles of transverse bundle of transversely running fiber at the junction of base of this triangle or at the junction of pons and medulla. We know that midband, pons and medulla, that forms the brain stem. As shown in the figure, this fourth ventricle, it is located in between the pons and the medulla and the cerebellum. And here is the superior medullary velum. That forms the roof of this fourth ventricle. And this is the inferior medullary velum. This is the fourth ventricle is located. And suppose this is the pons, this is the medulla, and here is the cerebellum. We take the sagittal section. And then the floor of this fourth ventricle can be seen easily after removing the cerebellum. हमने cerebellum को remove किया, और in between the pons and the medulla, the floor of the fourth ventricle can be seen after removing the cerebellum. We take the sagittal section and we can see easily the floor of the fourth ventricle, which is diamond shaped, which is and also called the rhomboid fossa, and it is divided by the stria medullaris. This is the stria medullaris, which is the transversely running fiber, and it is divided into the upper and the lower triangle, and this is the median eminence, and in the median eminence the sulcus is present, that is called the median sulcus. It is divide the floor of the fourth ventricle from the into the right and the left half. Now the different terms are associated with the floor of the fourth ventricle. The term is the facial colliculus. What is facial colliculus? The different terms are the facial colliculus. What is facial colliculus? Just above the stria medullaris, on either side of the median eminence, this is the median eminence shows a slight swelling. This is the slight swelling. The median eminence shows the slight swelling on either side of the median eminence, shows slight swelling, that is known as the facial colliculus, and this swelling is produced due to the fiber of facial nerve looping around the abducens nerve nucleus. That is the facial colliculus. Just above the stria medullaris, on either side, the median eminence shows a slight swelling, known as facial colliculus, and this swelling is produced due to the fiber of facial nerve, looping around the facial nerve, looping around the nerve abducens nerve nucleus, This is the facial colliculus. The next term is the superior fovea. What is superior fovea? At the upper level of the facial colliculus, there is a triangular depression. This triangular depression, that is the superior fovea, and here is the inferior fovea, and the superior fovea and inferior fovea are connected with that line that is called the sulcus limitans. Then superior fovea. What is superior fovea? At the upper level of the facial colliculus. What is superior fovea? At the upper level of what is the superior fovea? At the upper level of facial colliculus. At the upper level of facial colliculus, there is a triangular depression. There is triangular depression. Triangular depression. That is called superior fovea. That is called the superior fovea. That is called the superior fovea. Next term is locus ceruleus. The locus ceruleus. The next term is locus ceruleus. What is locus ceruleus? It is the just above the superior fovea, the sulcus limitans ends in an area which is bluish in color. It means this locus ceruleus, it is bluish in color, and it is located just above the superior fovea. Just above the superior fovea, just above the superior fovea, the sulcus limitans, the sulcus limitans ends in an area. Sulcus limitans ends in an area which is bluish in color, and is called locus ceruleus. The term is locus ceruleus. This is the locus ceruleus. This is the bluish area, and this is locus ceruleus. And what is the cause of this bluish color? What is the cause? The blue color. What is the cause? This bluish coloration is due to the presence of melanin. Presence of melanin pigment which is present in the noradrenergic neurons of nucleus ceruleus. Now, in the triangle, this floor of this fourth ventricle, the different triangles are located. The hypoglossal triangle, this is the hypoglossal triangle, and this is the vagal triangle. This triangle, the hypoglossal, that is the medial triangle, and the laterally there is a triangle that is known as vagal triangle. What is the vagal triangle and hypoglossal triangle? The vagal triangle and the hypoglossal triangle. In the lower part of the floor, just below the lower part of the floor of fourth ventricle, in the lower part of the fourth ventricle, below stria medullaris, below the stria medullaris, shows two small triangle, on either side of median sulcus. On either side of the median sulcus, just below the stria medullaris. These triangle are known as hypoglossal and vagal triangle. The hypoglossal and vagal triangle. And in the vagal triangle, dorsal nucleus of vagus, it lies deep to it, and hypoglossal nucleus lies in the hypoglossal triangle. The hypoglossal nucleus lies deep to it. These are the two triangles. One is the hypoglossal triangle and the vagal triangle. This is the hypoglossal, which is medially located, and the vagal triangle, which is laterally located. Now, the two terms are also very important in the fourth ventricle. First is the tela choroidea and the choroid plexus. Tela choroidea. Tela choroidea. What is tela choroidea of the fourth ventricle? It is a double layered pia mater. Double layered. This tela choroidea of the fourth ventricle. It is the double layered pia mater. It is the double layer pia mater that carries the vessels of choroid plexus. Vessels of choroid plexus. And what is choroid plexus? Choroid plexus of fourth ventricle. Choroid plexus. What is choroid plexus of fourth ventricle? It lies within the fold of pia mater, within the fold of tela choroidea, lies within the fold of pia mater or tela choroidea, and is formed by choroidal artery. So it is called choroid plexus. It is formed by the choroidal artery, which is a branch of posterior cerebellar artery. Posterior cerebellar artery. Cerebellar artery, that is the choroid plexus. That is the choroid plexus. See, here is the cerebellum. This is the lingula, and this is the nodule of the cerebellum, and here is the superior medullary velum and the inferior medullary velum that form the roof of the fourth ventricle, and here is the fold of this pia mater is located. That is the fold of pia mater. This is the fold of pia mater that is called tela choroidea, and within this pia mater, this choroidal vessels is present, that is called the choroid plexus. Choroid plexus. Here is the roof of the fourth ventricle, which is formed by the superior medullary velum and the inferior medullary velum. This is the roof of the fourth ventricle. The roof of the fourth ventricle, it is tent shaped, and that projects posteriorly towards the cerebellum. Posteriorly towards the cerebellum. This is the superior medullary velum and the inferior medullary velum. Inferior medullary velum, the lingula, the nodules, and here is the choroid plexus. Choroid plexus. Here is the foramen of the Magendai, and two laterally set, that is the foramen of the Lusca. Foramen of Magendai and the foramen of the Lusca. This is the fold of pia mater, that is called the tela choroidea, and this is the choroid plexus. Choroid plexus, and this is the central canal of the medulla oblongata. This is the fourth ventricle, the rhomboid shaped, diamond shaped. Here is the trochlear nerve and the superior and the inferior colliculi, that is the corpora quadrigemina, and the pineal gland have shown. And here is the peduncle, the superior, the middle, and the inferior cerebral peduncle. The superior cerebral peduncle, middle. From the superior cerebral peduncle, the midbrain is attached. From the middle, the pons is attached, and from the inferior cerebral peduncle, the medulla is attached. Here is the median sulcus. This is the superior fovea and the inferior fovea, and both are connected by the limitans, that is called the sulcus limitans. And here is the vestibular area, and this vestibular stria medullaris, just above and below the stria medullaris, this vestibular area is present, and this vestibular area, which is located in the both the upper triangular and the lower triangular area, that is also in the pons and the medulla. And there are the two triangle, that is the vagal triangle and the hypoglossal triangle. The medially located the hypoglossal triangle, and laterally located the vagal triangle. And in the vagal triangle, dorsal nucleus of vagus lies deep to it, and the hypoglossal triangle, the hypoglossal nucleus lies deep to it. Now in the superolateral area are white band area, that is called the tinea, and both the superolateral area merge towards the lower end, that is called the apex. And here is the gracile tubercle is present. The gracile, the cuneate tubercle and gracile tubercle is also present. This is all about the floor of the fourth ventricle, which is located in between the pons and medulla and the cerebellum. This is all about the fourth ventricle. The fourth ventricle. Thank you.